Simon Rosenberg is president and founder of the New Democrat Network. Former campaign advisor to President Bill Clinton, Matt Schlapp, is chairman of the American Conservative Union and former White House political director from President George W. Bush. Matt, let me ask you, convincing explanation in your mind?
I am just sorry, Melissa. She fails to register on the credibility meter with me. You know, the fact that she said just days ago that she had no knowledge of any of this, and literally days later she's now saying, well, it was just routine to ask for the names of people I read in these intelligence reports. It just begs so many more questions. I think Mrs. Rice is going to need to get a lawyer.
Simon, it does seem like she changed her story from what she said on PBS.
Yeah, look, this is moving very quickly, and I think we're all lucky that there are these ongoing investigations in the House and the Senate and the FBI investigation that this can get rolled into. I mean, we have a lot of resources that are going on to figure out what happened over the last with Russia and the Trump campaign's involvement in it. I'm sure this will now be, part of those investigations.
Well, it's interesting that you would say that because, Matt, when we go back to what the original nugget is here from what Devin Nunes said, he said it had nothing to do with Russia.
That's right. Yeah, so there's
How do you square that?
I don't know. This is the problem with all this. This is why a lot of Republicans actually want the two intelligence committees to investigate this as well, because we think there are many questions that the Obama administration, that Susan Rice, has to answer. Why was she so interested to know these names and to find out they potentially were Trump people? What were those messages? What did they say? Were they really relating to foreign affairs, or were they more gossipy? Was she running the NSC, or was she running the DNC out of the NSC? These are very basic questions that if a Republican NSC advisor had been involved with, the Democrats would be hooting and howling and crying, and Republicans across the country want straight answers.
Simon, how do you respond to that?
I think there are investigations ongoing. I mean, I don't really trust anything Devin Nunes says. He's lied on multiple occasions on camera. I think in terms of somebody who's lost a lot of credibility,
he's certainly one of them. When did he lie?
He said that none of the information that he got came from the White House. And that's been he said that on camera multiple times. That's proven to be not true, right? And so I think the point is that we have these mechanisms in place to look at all this, and I assume that this will be folded into those investigations in the coming months.
Can I just say we don't know the information that Devin Nunes got until he explains it to the American people. That's the problem with the reporting on this whole series of topics, is that the American people are going to learn the details, and then they're going to make a decision, and they're going to have to decide whether the Trump campaign did anything inappropriate, of which there's absolutely no credible information, and they're going to have to decide whether the Obama administration was playing politics with our surveillance system.
Simon, it does seem like the bottom line here is that we don't know. I mean, there are just so many questions we don't know the answer to, and I'm not sure, at the end of the day, when you try and drill down on it and they have these hearings and they do these investigations, they can end up saying this is all national security and we figured it out, but we're not going to tell you. Where does that leave us?
Look, I'm agreeing. Listen, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you that I think that's why we need these investigations. There are some things we do know, though, right? We do know that Russia interfered in our elections. We do know that there are legitimate and serious questions about what role the Trump campaign played. That's why we have these investigations in the first place, right? We have to let them play out, and I wish that the White House and Devin Nunes, instead of preventing these investigations from going forward, would actually cooperate more fully so we can put all this to bed and move on with other things that I think the country is very focused on.
Matt, do you feel like they're not cooperating?
No. Actually, what's actually happening here is Devin Nunes is following the facts, and the American people deserve facts. And the investigation is not just about what Russia did in our election, which I'm worried about too, Simon. It's also about what the Obama administration did in terms of surveilling the American people. I am very concerned about basic questions of civil liberties. And is the government, can they use our surveillance system for political purposes? If they do, it's obnoxious and it's criminal.
Can I just say one quick thing? Is that's actually not true, Matt. The investigation that are being done by the House and the Senate and by the FBI are into the Russian interference on our elections. While that investigation is going on, other things are coming up. No, what you're saying is just not true, Matt. It's not true.
We could go back and forth forever.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. Let's do it again. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right.